right, congrats for not needing any retakes so that you can learn about frequency tables. Frequency tables pop up on the OST, and they can be kind of tricky, but they are a really nice way to display data. Sometimes we're interested about how responsive two categories relate to one another, and so with all of this, you're going to be seeing two big categories. On this first problem, it's hair color and eye color. You could see one that's like profession and gender, or you could see, like we're going to do students who can, like whether we can swim and what grade we're in, or whether, you know, which gender and what your favorite science is. You're going to see lots of those. And every table we can break into two categories, and then you're going to see a lot of categories within those. So this is an example of a frequency table. Again, we have hair color and eye color, and the numbers here let us tell us how these two categories relate to one another. So we have 20 students, and we reported hair color and eye color, and that is all in the frequency table here. This is the joint frequency table. So a joint frequency table just gives us those raw numbers. Many times, especially in the OST, you're not given these total columns, and the totals are really important because the totals are what help us kind of make this data make sense. So it said that we have 20 students total. So that would be in the total deal here. And before we kind of do any more work, we're going to add these together. So I'm going to add up the students with black hair. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And you can absolutely do this using a calculator. 4, 5, 6, 7 have blonde hair. 1 and 3 is 4 have red hair. And we're going to do the same thing with eye color. Our blue-eyed people, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 1 is 8. Brown-eyed people, 5 and 2 is 7. And green-eyed people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you should notice is that our total columns should total up to 20. So 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 5 is 20. 9 plus 7 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So our total row and column adds to the number . That adds to our total number of students. Sometimes you will have to make that total column for yourself, and we'll see examples of that. Based on the table, how many students have? Okay, so we have to be careful about where we're looking here. If we're going to look for blonde hair and blue eyes, so if I go to the blonde column, I'm going to go down blue eyes. And so that is blonde hair and blue eyes. We have 4. If we're doing red hair and green eyes, again, I'm going to go red hair. So it's this column here. Green eyes, 3. Just red hair. Now we're looking at the big column total. So just red hair is that 4 down there. And brown eyes. So here's brown eyes. I'm going to go across for that total. 7. 7 of our 20 people have brown eyes. And that's why you'll see, a lot of times you'll see you'll see a table not represented with whole numbers, but represented with percentages. So that's what we see here. I just filled out our table on the bottom there so that we can see it again. This is called a two-way relative frequency table. So relative frequency table, instead of having the raw data in it, is going to give you percentages. So 0.15 is 15%. Remember, when we're working with decimals, in order to make that decimal a percent, we move that decimal 2 places to the right. Just to review that with you. Although in a two-way relative frequency table, we represent these with decimals. but we think about them, I think it's most common to think about them as those percents. So we're going to make our data that we have down below there into a two-way relative frequency table by just creating these little fractions. So I'm going to do 4 over 20. And when I do 4 divided by 20, that gives me 0.2. And for red hair, we have one person with blue eyes and red hair, so that would be 1 over 20. And in decimal form, that is 0.05. I'm just going to go ahead and finish out that row. Our number of blue-eyed people is 8. 8 over 20 is 0.40. Brown-eyed, we have 5 over 20. When we put that into a calculator, we get 0.25. 2 over 20, 0.10. We had 0 students with brown eyes and red hair. And that the total of that row was 7 over 20. For green eyes, we had 1 over 20 for this first cell. 1 over 20 for our second cell here. 3 over 20 for red hair and green eyes. The last one here is 5 over 20 for that total row. Our bottom totals here, 9 over 20 gave us 0.45. 7 over 20. 4 over 20. And here, that would be 20 over 20. That total spot, that total cell should always be 100%. That's your total of your totals, so it should be everybody. We can add up 0.4 plus 0.35 plus 0.25, you should get 1. So the total columns still work the same whether you're using making the fractions or adding up the totals. So here, 0.25 plus 0.1 is 0.35. So you can do the totals based on the fractions, or you can do the totals based on the adding up your totals. All right, I'm going to make another video for the back of the notes so you can click over to that video when you're ready.